This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what is really good, my dudes? Today is June 19th, 2017, and we got another RuneScape update for y'all. So today we see the release of a new Menaphos event. This one is very similar or akin to the Sprites-Be-Gone from Valentine's or the Deathbeard Demise, if you're familiar with those. So very similar, same concept. So to partake in this one, I want to talk to the shady lurker in Menaphos and get started. You'll be able to collect these Menaphite coins, 1,000 each day, up to 10,000 after 10 days will get you all the rewards for this event. So if you're familiar with the ones I've mentioned before, you know exactly what to expect. Same exact thing. New cosmetics, etc. to unlock with this event. You can use rune coins to speed up your process and collect more than 1,000 a day, but assuming you collect your 1,000 a day, you will be done before the event's over and be able to collect everything. So that's what it is. It's very important to note that you must be training within Menaphos itself or the Sophonim Slayer dungeon. So that means that turning in daily challenges will not give you any of the currency, as you can't turn any in within Menaphos. Also important to note that you get 20% increased coins if you're training mining, thieving, fishing, or wood cutting. So get out there and get those rewards. Anyways, that out of the way, let us jump into the patch notes. First up, placing a divine location no longer blocks auto-deploying protean traps. Defeating your opponent in the duel will no longer leave them as a target you're unable to attack. An issue where castle builders' barricades sometimes left their blocking behinds when being destroyed has been fixed. Exiting a player-owned port will now consistently place the player at the point at which they entered. The Slayer creature kills table has been expanded to show all existing entries as the latest alphabetical entries were being cut off. Next up, we got some Menaphos fixes. So Menaphos district houses containing cats now unlock at tier 5 reputation. Players can no longer enter Menaphos district houses without the correct reputation tier. Menaphite gift offerings now have a right-click offer for reputation option. Speaking to Urluk about city quests will now display a hint arrow to the NPC if someone has a task to complete. The soul talisman can now be traded via the Grand Exchange. Reputation interface and corruption stacks are no longer lost when stepping on one rogue tile in the Menaphos Slayer dungeon. Players are now correctly awarded the full amount of reputation when killing the last monster on their Slayer test in the Sophonim Slayer dungeon. Khopesh weapons can now be traded correctly. Shades will now spawn correctly in the player-owned Slayer dungeon. The Keras effect now works correctly on corrupted cow fights. Corrupted dust elves are now affected by the Mask of Dust. Mask of Dust now provides a teleport to the Sophonim Slayer dungeon with at least 97 Slayer. A duplicate reference to the Crocodile Tears quest reward in the quest complete scroll has been removed. Players can now get a replacement charged dowsing rod by taking a replacement rod to the Elidist spirits during Crocodile Tears. Rotep City quest head icon has been placed back above his head. Implings and Gothic sea and butterflies will no longer fly into the pillars on the docks in the ports district of Menaphos. Squek can now be removed from player-owned house menagerie. The Tale of a Mascot, Crondis, Het, and Jack of Spades music track will now be unlocked after their respective quests have been completed. If you already completed the quests, you can unlock these tracks by listening to the pub singer. A shadow on Commander Akhomet's chat head has been tweaked. Pets received in Menaphos will now function properly on free-to-play worlds. The mirrors in Sophonim have been graphically updated. The swamp environment area in the desert has been updated. Blocking have been added to some desert locations near the band camp. Bankers in the underground Sophonim Bank have their models updated. Next up, we have some next changes. The next banker no longer moves around, making it easier to find with lots of players in the area. Dominion mines are once again usable within the next Angel of Death encounter, but will only work on Blood Reavers as they are under 138 combat level check. Pillars had the combat level of 0, so they no longer damage pillars. Next, Angel of Death no longer targets another player who isn't the tank when restarting her attacks. All players who participate and defeat next Angel of Death encounter will be able to obtain the lore book drops from the exit pillar. This is regardless of the amount of damage dealt for ease of access. Players who have pinned under the icicles during next Angel of Death encounter will no longer get hit by the shadows during the final phase. Player who has started next Angel of Death fight is now broadcasted to the entire arena. The Appraisal Codex from next Angel of Death now works with the Shard Share system. An issue where the flanking perk was sometimes dealing extra damage to large NPCs when facing them has been fixed. Players now walk towards Uchthanki camels instead of talking to them from a distance. Mr. X has taken all hardcore players jars of divine light for safekeeping. He will continue to open the jar upon death as before. He will also allow you to open it by speaking to him. The following skyboxes now utilize volumetric lighting when activated via the skybox/filters option: Dusk, Dawn, Midday, Throne, Eclipse, Nightstone, Daystone, and Goshima. And finally, the Wilderness warning will display to players until they choose to turn it off. And quickly, here are some hotfixes that went live already throughout the past week. So they've been in the game already. You can pause them if you want to check them out for yourself. But yeah, like I said, they've already been in the game, so nothing new. Anyways, guys, links to both the patch notes and the game update will be down in the description below if you want to check them out for yourself. Anyways, that's it for the video. If you like to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit the subscribe button. I promise to keep you up to date on all things RuneScape related. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace!
Audio Jungle.